Well, the camera's not over there anymore, is it? It's over there. Hello, YouTube. How you doing? That was an interesting little turn of the head, wasn't it? I actually ended up looking at a beer bottle. Amazing. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully you'll want to see some Dwarf Fortress, because that's what we're doing. And if you've clicked on this video, I'm fairly sure the thumbnail said Dwarf Fortress, so you've either done a bit of a papeg, or, I don't know, maybe a twitch. Maybe you were scrolling down on your phone and went with your thumb. Just couldn't help yourself. Happens to me sometimes. I've clicked on some absolute garbage before. Don't worry, I won't hold it against you if you toddle off. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. So, where are we? Sorry for scratching my nose like that. The fortress is clearly doing pretty well, because last time we obviously found some candy. Very nice. Who doesn't love a little bit of candy now and then? Certainly the Predator in Predator 2 thought it was an excellent way to attract children. Then again, the Predator wasn't actually seeking to attract children, was he? So, more fool the Predator for using the vocal tics of small children to attract their prey, because surely... Then again, maybe not, that would attract parents, wouldn't it? Maybe it's not that foolish. Maybe saying, "Want some candy?" in the trees actually worked. Who knows? I doubt the people who made Predator 2 put that much thought into it. I think they probably just went, yeah, that'll do. Let's do it. How about a fort tour, says Sal. I suppose we could do a fort tour. That makes entirely good sense. Let's go up to the surface. Here we go. Obviously, as you can tell from the top left corner there, we are currently under siege. So the fortress is sealed in, especially off from the surface, because that's where most of the enemies are. But if you come down this little corridor here, you can see we've got a trade depot, which is currently inaccessible to any traders because we've built this stupid wall here. But hey, never mind. I can take that wall down now the bridge is working. Over here, actually sealed off from the entryway and only accessible by going down into the fortress, is our combined sand collection zone and farms, if I remember rightly. Yeah. Grazing zone, that's where it is. It's a grazing zone, not so much a farm, more of an Is it arable? Arable farming? Agricultural farming? I think arable farming is with animals, isn't it? I keep looking over to the camera and it's not there. All I have to do is look up to the top of the screen. Right, let's go down a few floors here. There's our actual farm, our agricultural farm. Plump helmets at the top there, and the two fields at the bottom should be for pigtails, although I'm not sure if we've actually put in the order for pigtails. Ooh! Excuse me. Couldn't help myself there. Plump helmets, quarry bushes, sweet pods, dimple cups. Oh, thank you very much. I've just received a notification from Patreon. Thank you very much for signing up, whoever that was. Oh, I know who that was. But I'm not going to call you out because that might be embarrassing. Who knows? Feel free to step forward like Spartacus. Or not like Spartacus. Do it in a different way. I mean, stepping forward and saying, "I am Spartacus," is probably just going to confuse the matter. Pigtails, here we go. No! And there goes the notification. There we go. The email arrived before the notification popped up. How exciting. Oh my, that's a rusty notification. That one doesn't pop up very often. It's a very uncommonly used one. Don't feel pressured, anybody. Don't feel like you're second-class citizens for not signing up to the Patreon. It's fine. We don't operate a class system in this society. It's a classless melange of peoples. Don't worry. Don't worry. Let's have a little look down here. Although, thank you very much. It is very classy to sign up to the old Patreon. Very much so. Let's scroll down a bit past these empty mines where I seem to have pulled all the cassiterite I can find out of the earth. I'm going to skip past the fortress because actually we go down to this bit here, which is the entryway. These stairs come down from the surface. These go down into the first two cavern layers, as you can see by the dead donkeys and dogs in the hallway. Oh, sorry, that's a duck, not a dog. I've had trouble down here. We've lured some undead, and I've decided to wall the whole thing off. It's not really a great time in there. There's undead, there's forgotten beasts. It's just a pain in the arse, so why bother with it? We've got this nice little array of cage traps. Originally, I was thinking get all the people to come through this little twisty-turny array of cage traps, but that didn't get built quick enough, so I just put this huge block in. It was all good. We've got a barracks here, which as of yet has no military for using? Has no military to use it, but we will be doing that this stream. Fingers crossed. It's not guaranteed, but I'll give it a go. This is a little refuse and corpse stockpile. Very exciting stuff. This is a more long-term corpse storage solution. These are all coffins, so that's nice. Going to keep all of our long-term deads in there. Let's go up a bit further. The floor above the entryway is the offices over here. Offices and special noble bedrooms. And obviously the sleeping quarters. These are all bedrooms for the regular pleb tier dwarves. Very exciting. Very exciting. Let's go up another floor. This is one of our manufacturing zones. We've got masons' workshops, crafts, dwarf workshops, mechanics, and a carpenter. Not much wood left, which is worrying, but I don't think we need to worry too much because we've got quite a few beds, and they're pretty much the only thing I'm really making out of those now. Plenty of stone. I don't know why there's gems in here. Rough black zircons. Okay, sure. And over here is where we're doing most of our metal-based, excuse me, hiccups and burping at the same time. So classy. This is where we're doing most of our metal-based industry. This is an enormous storeroom for ores. As you can see, we have a very large supply of cassiterite. We've also struck some raw adamantine. So this is going to be a really weird feast-famine type of place where everything's either made out of shitty tin or absolutely splendid adamantine. So we'll see how it goes. Probably not going to be making anything out of this anytime soon because it's a nice valuable resource and we only have shit tier crafts dwarves. So, oh! I forgot about that. Poor old Salford Sally has been struck with a mood in an industry that hasn't even been set up yet. She's having a glassmaker's mood. Very exciting. Pasture, that's the word, Sal. Pasture. And Righteous Boner is claiming a trademark on all the girth talk due to his bonery nature. Well, I'm afraid you're going to have to defend that case in court. And I don't know how the Egyptian court system is, but I feel like they're probably not too keen on people going, I want to trademark penises. I mean, I don't think it'll fly here either. Oh. Sorry, I'm just getting distracted by, from Latin, arabilis, able to be ploughed. Oh, okay, I get you. So, is there a special name for animal-based farms as opposed to plant-based farms? Other than not vegan, I don't know. You can take the perkiness and leave me the girth, says Righteous Boner. Oh, my goodness. Heavens above. Perky and girthy. Now, there's a pair of names that wouldn't work for children's show puppets. Let's keep going down. Long-term dead as opposed to temporary deads. Gotta hate them corpses. Oh, man. Unfortunately, temporarily dead is the thing in this area. I mean, the world I've embarked on has a number of rather substantial necromancer tower complexes. Not just towers, like loads of them. As far as I can see, it's like a forest of necromancer towers. So, although our biome doesn't reanimate, if you leave anything lying around for too long on the surface under a siege, someone will come along and go, I'm having that. Yoink. So we've got all sorts of undead animals knocking around. The last biome we were at had so many towers around it, the natural flora and fauna were all undead abominations. It was worrying. It was worrying. No, not that kind of adamantine. It's dwarven adamantine. You're thinking of the schnicked kind of adamantine that gets fused with people's bones. Very different type of stuff. No. That's closer to mithril. Are we going to find any other metals, or are we able to trade adamant for it? I mean, I don't want to trade any of the adamantine because that stuff is just too valuable. Suits of armor made out of it are. Oh yes. So we'll be getting all that kind of stuff. Pastoral farming is animals. Ah, there we go. Lovely. Oh, thank you very much for the follow, Sprocket Toad. Much appreciated. Sprocket Toad. Is that a toad that can only be twisted one way? That's what a sprocket is, isn't it? Something that only goes one way? I don't know. It's a mysterious name. I like it. I'm imagining a toad that shoots its tongue out to eat flies, and then the tongue just won't go back in until you press the release button and it goes... It's not a sprocket set, is it? It's a socket set that I've got in the shed. Whatever. That's alright. It's fine for you to bring warm, spicy people, Sal. It's fine. As long as they've not gone over boil, you know, if they've gone crazy. If you bring foaming at the mouth savages, then that might upset me. But they all seem relatively nice so far. Very, very friendly crowd. Animal husbandry. That's bestiality, isn't it? Says Harold Beaver. No. Only if you're a woman. Oh my god. It's the worst kind of reactive puns in the world. Hello, Conan Dude? Conan dude. If you are if that's a Conan spelt wrong, can somebody put a crom in the chat for Conan dude? Although I doubt it's Conan, because that's an A. And you don't misspell Conan, because he'll turn up and cut you in half, like he did for his author. Anyway, where were we? A sprocket is a form of gear. Ah, I see. Excellent stuff. I thought it was one of those things that... Oh, that's a ratchet, isn't it? That would be ratchet toad. What if they do clank toads as well? Anyway, I'm getting distracted by chat. You guys have got to calm down and let me get on with this. Otherwise, we're going to be playing Paul's Fortress all night. So we'll get back and deal with Sal's mood in a minute. We'll figure out what we're doing with her. We should be able to get some raw green glass made relatively quickly, as long as somebody comes down and constructs this bad boy. That'll be fine. This is our bar stockpile, where we keep, funnily enough, metal bars. And this little area down here is a smeltery and magma forge that I set up earlier because we had to deal with a mood, but that went south anyway. Right, let's go down one floor just to show my magma setup. This was all made in a rush. It actually killed somebody when we breached the magma, which was sad. But this one here, nobody died making this. This is our traditional comb-shaped magma well. Very good, very exciting. Gives you tingles, doesn't it? But better do. Anyway, up to the next floor. Here we have our lovely food zone, the food court. Take me to the eating zone. On the right here, we've got the switch room. This is a corridor. I'm sure you'll understand that part. Over here, we've got our little egg-laying room. Very nice. Unfortunately, mainly full of male birds at the moment, so the egg potential is quite low. We can fertilise eggs like nobody's business, but unfortunately, actually extracting over from the farm, very unlikely. Over here, food storage, very nice, only half full. Still, farmer's workshop. What is this? Kitchen. Of course it's a kitchen. Of course. Are we making food? Nobody's cooking food. I think we have got a decent cooking, but I'll start thinking about that later on. Over here we've got an animal stockpile for all the animals we've got caught in our cage traps. Kangaroo buck. Hey, buck. We've got a wild boar sow. Very nice. We've got a horse. We've got a wild boar... Oh, hang on. Hello. I thought a boar was like a bull. That was the male pig. Am I wrong here? Or am I just being horribly prescriptive in saying that it's not possible to have a wild boar sow? Okay. It looks like we've got a mating pair of boar, so we want to get them trained up and domesticated. That'd be nice. Tasty wild boar. Just like Asterix and Obelix. It all comes round again to French cartoons. Once again, we discuss the bande dessinée. Here, this little functional room here is what I call a miasma baffle. I put my butcher, baker, candlestick maker, you know what I mean, all here, and then any miasma that gets into this room can't really spill out any further, so it only affects those who are forced to work in those horrible industries. It's a tanner and a fishery, I think. Okay, back over to the stairs, and we go up another floor. This is my segregated storage space, where each of the stockpiles contains one thing. Chairs, bed, no, they're tables, beds, slabs, empty cages, coffins. Oh, another chair stockpile. Okay, did that wrong. Chests/coffers, cabinets, bins, weapon racks, armor stands, cut gems, uncut gems, and blocks. And of course, mechanisms here. Very exciting, but of course there's always room for expansion there. Always room for expansion. Up one floor, we find ourselves here at the hospital. Very nice, very useful. Clap for the NHS, everybody. Clap for the NHS. And then up here, we've got guild halls. That's what's here, guild halls. Neither of which have been made fancy enough to actually be considered guild halls yet. Bit disappointing, but hey-ho. Hey-ho, we need to get some engraving done. Then we got one more floor, and we find ourselves in the textile zone. Beating heart of dwarven fashion industry. It's very exciting here. We've got a leatherworks, then a loom, then a clothier's shop, then another clothier's shop, question mark, okay, I thought I saw fit to do two, and a jeweller's workshop as well, because jewellery's sort of clothes, isn't it? I don't wear any, but, you know, if it's worn, I'm going to assume it's clothes. We've got a leather stockpile, cloth stockpile full of thread. This one's full of just cloth. And then over here I'm going to do stockpiles for each of the individual forms of clothing. Very exciting, I'm sure you'll agree. I'm sure those of you capable of such are fully tumescent at this point. And that, I think, constitutes the entirety of the upper fortress zone. Now, if you'll forgive me just a little bit of a digression, we're going to go to the lower fortress zone here. This is much lower down. This is actually, I think, just above Cavern Layer 3, because the first two cavern layers have been befouled by invaders and we no longer go there. So, you'll notice this little nubbin coming off the top with a drawbridge. I'm not entirely sure if that's been hooked up to anything. It has. Very exciting. If we go down one floor, you'll see... 2 floors, sorry. You'll see that we've got a little room here ready for our well, which of course leads down into this open void in... into Cavern Layer 3, down to the water. Very exciting, although unfortunately it will open us up to attack from flying and climbing creatures of various kinds. So exciting, hence the bridge. Then if we follow this second stairwell here, down a little bit, excuse me while I hiccup. Nope, it's gone. Now you've made a fool of me, digestive tract, how dare you. We'll go a bit further down. Am I going back up? I am going back up. Let's go down, down. Over to the right here. There's our stairwell. Keep going down, keep going down. There we go. That's where we actually breached into Cavern Layer 3 to attempt to get some wood. Actual, you know, tree wood as opposed to, you know, love wood. Let's go down a bit further. And we went as far as we could down to... Oh, that's a cavern baffle. Go a little further down, and yeah, we got ourselves down as far as we could, started digging around, and by sheer coinkydink, we came across some sweet, sweet candy. Oh me, oh my. I've got candy. Dum, 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 dum. Although, it appears, having dug out above, that we've just clipped the top of a spire, which only just pokes above the magma sea, which is a little bit disappointing, to say the least, because getting down through that magma sea to get any more of the adamantine is going to be a tricky proposition, to say the least. Right, now we've done the tour, we can all head back over to chat, and I'm going to have a little peeky poo and see what people are saying before we unpause. So, let me just make sure I've not missed any new names. Dave is recommending Sal's tutorials. Very good idea, very good idea. It's like Conan the Barbarian. I was right. I was right. Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of their women. Or the lamination of their women, if you seek to press them between 2 sheets of plastic. Hello, North Westerhausen. Welcome back to the stream. Thanks for joining us. Oh yeah, don't come to this stream to learn Dwarf Fortress. I mean, you can, if you don't know how to play Dwarf Fortress. We're never going to turn you away. We won't turf you out onto the street. But I would leave your expectations of education way, way away from the door, because they're going to be shattered. Let's have a look down here. No, a boar is either a wild pig or it's a male pig, I think. Wild males. Oh my heavens. That co-presenter on Sal's stream adds a professional tone. He sounds like the voice of the balls. The voice of the balls? Dave, sorry, Druid's Mead, I think you I think you may be suffering from a schizophrenic break if your balls are talking to you. Either that, or you're a very lucky man with 2 internal monologues, possibly 3, depending on if the balls are addressing you individually. Here we go. Keep going down, catching up with chat. I will catch up in a minute. Boar is the male of domesticated pigs. Wild boars are their wild counterparts. Wild boars! Nucrium was the first tutorial I saw. That name rings a bell, but I'm not sure I've watched the tutorial. It's been a long time since I watched like Dwarf Fortress tutorials outside of Sal's. Boar is a breeding pig. Barrows are gelded. Oh my goodness. If you bring a gelded pig back to light, can it be a barrow white like in Lord of the Rings? Heavens above, that's a convoluted joke. Hello, Coraline Jones. Welcome back to the stream. I think I remember seeing you on a Reddit thing. You probably did. I usually post these streams when I'm going live on Reddit. Or if you're talking to Sal, you've definitely seen her tutorials pop up on the subreddit for Dwarf Fortress. There's a good recommendation. If that was prompted in chat by someone asking about learning Dwarf Fortress, a very good place to start is r/Dwarf Fortress on Reddit, because all sorts of stuff pops up on there. Good subreddit. Good subreddit. Switching from coffee to beer now. Exciting times. That's one of those things. You come to this stream, you learn facts, and they just go poo out of your head. I don't know why I chose the word poo there. I was meant to go poof, and then I thought, don't say that. That's a bad word. And then I decided to just use fecal matter instead. 30 minutes. Have I gone 30 minutes without unpausing? Bloody well have as well. But I've only been recording for 20 minutes, so at least the YouTubers don't have to put up with that horrible situation. You restart. You do a refresh, Sal. Voice of the Balls is the UK lottery. Ah, I get what you mean. Now I understand. So, shall we unpause? I feel like now is the time if we're going to do it at all. Bang! There we go. Come to life, my dwarves. Come to life. We need... Actually, let's pause it again, because we've now got to deal with Sal's terrible mood. Poor old Sal. Let's go over to Dwarf Therapist. Ugh, what's that? Better. Much better. Right, let's go to Dwarf Therapist. Check we've got glassmakers. Here's the glassmaking skill. If I sort by nothing, that's good. Yesterday, I activated all these silly buggers here and said, go forth and make me some glassmakers workshops. And all we can do now is hope that they come along and do this, because we need an architect. Come on. Build the workshop. Don't make me wall Sal in. Come on. She's a namey of great stature. We can't lose her. We've got to keep her going. I think actually this might actually be your second dwarf in this fortress already, Sal. By the way, if any of the new viewers are still here, you're still hanging around, if you type exclamation, oh, yeah, alright, okay, I understand, I get you. That is the correct response. What was I saying? Oh yeah, if you use the points system that Twitch has implemented, you can choose a command called namey, which lets you go into a queue for getting a dwarf named after you, which I will deal with shortly. We currently have 52 adults, 6 children, and 3 vulnerable babies. And of those, 19 have nicknames. Orchimedes, Bauxite Beard, Billy Bogrol, Buckshot Brigade, Can of Soda, Curly Fries, Dave Velociraptor, Druid's Mead, Ariane Clay Cream, Murder Machine, Ocelot, Polycarp, Rando 303, Ravelin, Salford, Sal, Stairmaster, Tidy, and Zastava, I think. None of you need any nicknames, because you've already got them. Anyway, where were we? Oh, don't kick things, scoundrel, come on. Spring has arrived, the game is saving, so as soon as I unpause, the game decides to pause itself. That's very exciting. That's pauseception right there. Pauseception. These transitions, like the cool teacher's PowerPoints. Man, I doubt I could ever be a teacher. I don't think anyone would ever hire me. Looking at your professional history here, you appear to be a bit of a fucking nightmare. I'm not sure we want to allow these children anywhere near you. Correct, Scarlet Karma. Curly Fries, indeed. That is correct. Although, is Curly Fries here? I think Curly Fries might be at work. Unfortunately, the streams lately seem to have coincided with his shifts operating his crane, so sadly he has not been around. However, you know, every now and again he makes it. He could be in the Discord, actually. Who knows? Who knows? Vasica Pro. Can somebody dish out a little banology there? Somebody come down on that shit like a ton of bricks? There we go. Yeah, lovely spam bot. Bloody spam bots. While we're here, while we're waiting for this save to finish, I'm just going to quickly go into my community screen, go to channel points, go over there, bear with me, excuse it getting dark. I was using a Google search page to illuminate my face. Let's go to the manage rewards, open up the request queue, go back to... Whoa, excuse me. Go back to the goggle. Where's the queue? Where is the queue? Here it is. Okay. We've still got Firehawk in the queue from last time because we don't have a Hammer Dwarf yet. Oh, and Dave last time suggested a Mare versus Forgotten Beast Fight Night special, and we were going to do a poll as to whether that would happen. Although, you know what? I'm sorry, Dave. I'm rejecting that request just because I can't be asked to set up a fight between a Forgotten Beast and my bloody mare. Orosco88 requested some ads. That was earlier on, wasn't it? That was during the Armour stream. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to reject that. You have to keep the points. Northwesterhausen is requesting a namey. I am assuming you want it named after you, as opposed to someone called Pogchamp, but let me know in chat if that's what you want. Ralph would like someone called Defecatuous? I'll just copy and paste it. That's the easy way to do it. And Righteous Bonus looking for someone called His Holiness. Oh my goodness. Old Papa Popey. Where were we? Let's get the game back up because otherwise I'm going to miss something. Oh, okay. Hey, they've built that. That's fantastic. So now we need to make some raw green glass. Let's add a few of those just to make sure we don't end up not getting any. And I'm going to put an urgent order on that now. Come on. Somebody get in there and make poor old Sal a bit of green glass because she is in dire need. She has a mighty need for green glass. Do we even have any sand nearby? Is anybody else a bit warm? It is bloody warm here. I may have to kill the camera and start stripping. There we go. There's an exciting prospect for the future. I don't think we have any mods in chat. Oh my god, I may have to do the banning myself. God damn it. Here we go. There we go. Right click. Up to there. Ban. Bosh. Done. If I've accidentally banned the wrong person, I'm terribly sorry. But you know how it goes. Sometimes you just be a madman. Now I can't get rid of his name. Oh, stop hovering over my chat for Seca Pro, you bastard. Ugh, I've gone to his Twitch channel. Fuck off. Oh no. Is somebody dehydrated? That's no good. We don't need dehydrated people. Ban. Oh, there we go. Just press escape. That would work. There we go. Plutonium Jesus has selected a poll as well. I will attempt to get that poll put into chat. Don't worry. Have you got the collect sand order going, says Sal. That's a very good point. Let's have a little look and find out. Let's ignore Can of Soda, the dehydrated bookbinder. Actually, look at it. Somebody's already on the job. He's making raw green glass. Very exciting. Get in there, druids mead, you beautiful glass-making bastard. Hooray! And Sal is now deep into her Moody Maker. Moody Maker? What? So she needs cloths, thread, bars, metal, rough colour, stone, rock. Now, do I attempt to get a cheeky bit of adamantine knocked up? Because if we make some adamantine wafers... I'm going to give it a crack. Make adamantine wafers. Let's get somebody in there and see how this works. Let's do it now. Make sure we put it on a high priority. And hopefully we'll end up with a ludicrously expensive item. Something with glass and adamantine. Did anyone see on Reddit today? There's loads of people posting pictures of uranium-infused glass and jewellery. It looks amazing. Not entirely sure I want uranium glass in my house, but it looks fantastic under a UV light. Come on, somebody come along and make us a sweet bit of adamantine wafer. That's all we want. Just a little bit. Just enough for a mood, you understand. Nothing too special. Will it even count, though? It looks like someone's going there now. They've grabbed the thread. Off to the smeltery. Very good. Well done. Make that little wafer for me. It's only a wafer thin. Wafer thin. Come on. Get working on it. We can't have Sal losing her marbles over something so minor as metal bars. And we certainly don't want tin going into an artifact when we could have fucking adamantine going in, right? Where are you going? Why are you wandering off? Did you actually make any adamantine? Is that what she wanted? Hang on, let's check out her mood. Raw green glass, cloth thread, bars, metal, rough colour, bars, metal, stone, rock, cloth. You know what? I know we did this last time, and I should still try and remember it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on old Sal. Salford Sally, Bamalam, oh Salford Sally, and I'm going to type in show mood. She wants raw green glass, quantity 3, got 1. Okay, in that case, good job I made more orders. And then she wants any silk cloth. Fart nuggets. Silk cloth. Does it have to be silk cloth? Do I even have any silk cloth? She wants metal bars. That's fine. We're going to have... Oh, look, we've got adamantine wafers already. There we go. Any rough gems. More metal bars. Okay, we're going to need another lump of adamantine. Add... adamantine wafers. Do it now. What's the other thing she wants? Rock boulder yarn cloth. So silk cloth and yarn cloth appear to be fairly substantial bottlenecks to our progress. So let's quickly check to see if we've got any of that shit. See cloth. Here we go. We've got it all. No need to worry. Hello? Someone in the toilet? Okay. Looks like one of the kids has come downstairs to either drop some bum dumplings or perhaps have a little wee-wee. I'm not sure. Either way, that's what they're up to. So, let's watch Sal with eagle eyes. Come on. Get that green glass. Get those wafers made. That's good. It's got to be the green glass that's bottlenecking her, right? Can't be anything else. Maybe she just needs to get the 3 pieces up front, then she can start the basic design and move on from there. I'm pronouncing it wrong again. You're right, Dave. You're very true. Hello, Emin Lotus. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining us again. Oh, heavens above. It looks like there's a little bit of conflict going on. Uranium Joy, they did that with watches and radium before. Not the best idea. No, I remember hearing about all those poor old radium girls who were licking their paintbrushes and painting stuff onto the hands of watches. Very sad. Although apparently tritium is a good radioactive material for making fancy jewellery and stuff from. 16 degrees in Egypt. We're hotter than Egypt here. That is a surprise. Big surprise, actually. Very surprise. Let's keep going down here. Erect the walls. I don't think we need to. I think we're going to be okay. We can get this stuff made nice and quickly. And wait a minute, is she? No. She's just told us to get some cloth. It's fine. There she goes. Look, she just put some adamantine in. Very nice. It looks like it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. It's very exciting. Sorry? You burped the alphabet. Congratulations. The alphabet. Oh, it didn't quite work for me. I need to take a big glug of beer to manage that. The caverns are pretty rife with Forgotten Beast plutonium. Unfortunately, they just keep coming. That's alright though, because they're all barred off. It's not really a huge issue for us. Is the silk cloth outside? I don't think so, because we do have, if we go up to the textiles zone. Take me to the clothing zone. Up here, this is our cloth stockpile, and I'm fairly sure some of these are going to have some groovy stuff in. Maybe. Well, we'll find out soon enough, won't we? If you lose your marbles and start punching people, we'll know what happened. We'll know all the silky silk was elsewhere. There's the second piece of adamantine going in. Very nice. Where now? Excuse me. How rude. Oh, please don't let the glass break it. That's gonna be sad. They also use tritium in rifle sights. Really? Very interesting. I thought they used human hairs. Maybe that's super old school technology though. It's probably super old school. Boom, boom, boom. Never make it past J. Well, you do it on individual burps, surely. Just go... I can't do it. I can't do big enough burps, unfortunately, at the moment. I don't want to run the risk of pumping my stomach full of air and then accidentally vomiting. That would be a mistake. The M68 uses batteries, and the ACOG has a glass bar on top that feeds light in. It was another reflex sight we used in Iraq, but I can't recall what. Intriguing. Oh, hello. Sal has begun a mysterious construction. Oh, very exciting indeed. Looks like we're going to get whatever it is. We're not going to have to worry about sending her off to the funny farm. Very nice. Very exciting stuff. Oh, Nightbot seems to be trying to send people over to the old Discord. Very exciting. If it sounds exciting, give it a crack. Pop over there. Hello, Weirus. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us again. I'm better at consistent fire rather than individual burps, similar to an MG42. Oh my goodness. Ralph. A burp gun. Burp gun. Burp gun. Don't want to get too close to that Kiss song. They'll sue. They're very litigious. We haven't used human hair in sights and scopes since World War II. Oh my goodness. That was a while ago. Quite a while ago. Excuse me, my moustache is rebelling, curling upwards into my nostrils, causing all manner of tickly mayhem. I'm not happy. I'm going to have to trim it. What a pain in the arse. Well, I mean, what an irritation in the nose. Let's call it what it is. Let's not start saying that my moustache is somehow tickling my bum. That would be weird. That would be a very unusual configuration for facial hair. Oh, hello. A stray dog has given birth to a puppy. Oh, that's not the kind of thing I usually give a shit about.
What?
Hello.
A puppy?
Yes, there's a puppy been given birth to. Don't worry, it's only that lassie puppy. Do you want to say hello? Can you give me a cuddle? Are you shy? We should go back up to bed then. Mwah, night night, love you. You gonna go back up? Yeah. What did you say? You're a little bit hungry. Oh, that's a shame. Go off to bed.
Do you have any cats?
We've got cats, yes, we do have cats. We've got dogs, we've got cats, we've got boars, we've got kittens. We've got. I made an excellent set of kitten skin gloves. They're not real cats, don't worry, it's fine. You know I'd never admit to making kitten skin gloves in the real world. Night night, love you. You can have a lovely big breakfast in the morning. I think Mummy's going to make you porridge. There we go. Sorry, a little bit of an invasion there from the younger child. Dear oh dear. An earring, you say? Oh, look at that over there. I want to say they used to use spider silk in bomber sights as well, but I might be misremembering. Spider silk, that sounds like a pain in the arse to harvest, doesn't it? Very awkward. Earring is worse than a bracelet, Plutonium Jesus. I would agree with that one. Your assessment is correct. They used bat bombs in World War II. I heard about that. Like they strapped incendiary devices to bats and sent them on their migratory paths or something, I think. She's a little older than a vulnerable baby. She's a child. Let's put this thing on. The bat bomb thing was a singular failed experiment. Ah, I see. I see. I remember in Japanese kamikaze planes they'd have a pigeon that would squawk as they got closer to the ship. The way you said that, it sounds like you were a kamikaze pilot, which seems implausible at best. Although I imagine that's probably just an artifact of the phrasing as opposed to an actual statement, a claim. The best single earring that you ever have seen. Let's have a look. Salford Sal Thobgamesh Broker has created a Cathsadur, a green glass earring. She claims it is an heirloom in the name of the family ancestor, Limmel Page Circles. Let's take a little look and see what old Limmel's been honoured with. Enter. Shift L. Winter Emeralds, a green glass earring. Ironic that it's made of green glass, yet still called emeralds. We don't know what value it is, because Sal's not good enough at appraisal yet, but we'll see. It's probably going to be worth quite a bit. This is a green glass earring. All Craft's dwarf ship is of the highest quality. It is encircled with bands of cave spider silk, adamantine, and sheep wool. This object menaces with spikes of green glass, wood opal, and dacite. On the item is an image of winter emeralds, the green glass earring in green glass. On the item is an image of dwarves in green glass. The dwarves are labouring. The artwork relates to the foundation of Bowel Cudgel by Cryptbeards the Fresh of the Brilliant Whips in the early spring of 310. On the item is an image of 2 brown recluse spider-men in adamantine. Oh, poisonous. I mean, it's not the worst earring, but earrings are intrinsically a bit shit, in my opinion. But well done, Sal. Congratulations. That's probably our most valuable single item in the entire fortress. Of course, apart from the vulnerable babies. Very exciting. Dolphins were used by the Soviets during the Cold War. Oh, man. I heard that. I thought they were used by the Americans as well, to be honest. I thought everybody was training dolphins to detect mines and shit, weren't they? Don't forget the dog bombs. Vera says cat bombs, but apparently the Soviets trained dogs. They strapped bombs to dogs and then trained them to run under tanks, but unfortunately they trained them with Russian tanks, so they ran under the Russian tanks and blew up. Which is, could have seen that one coming, right? Also, incendiary devices put on animals was first used by Olga of Kiev, if I'm right. She had the village give her loads of pigeons and then tied a little gunpowder to each, and their nest in the houses of the villagers acted as tinder for fires. Heavens above. Was shelved because sure we can light a bunch of stuff on fire, but we've got this whole atomic bomb thing. Yeah, I think nuclear bombs really sort of take the cake when it comes to explosives, right? They're probably, once you've got that. Mind you, I think, actually, I don't think that's the be-all and end-all, because they've got limited use cases, I would say, unless you want to really fuck shit up. I mean, surely they're a bit big for most explosive uses, right? I mean, you're not going to blow the doors off a safe with an atomic bomb. I mean, you could, but I doubt you'd have anything worth harvesting inside it if you did. Before modern times, cavalry used to ride horses. That's true. That's true. Spider-Man, says Dave Velociraptor. Not entirely sure where that's come from, but I'm sure the context will come forward. Britain once tried to use a nuclear landmine in Cold War era Germany to keep the nuke mines warm in winter. They tried warming them with live chickens. Holy shit. That's a serious death egg. The ostrich landmine dispensers were the worst, but they tended to run uphill. Oh my goodness. Ostriches. You don't want to face an ostrich on a battlefield. Those beady little eyes on the tiny head charging at you. Truly terrifying. Dark room, light room, right side, left side, new centre view. Oh, Xavier St. Cloud, I can't help it. The camera is moving all the time. I could put it back over here. I could, but to be honest, right now, I just wanted to get the camera set up. You're lucky you've got a camera at all, to be honest. I was really considering just doing the stream like that. But then the weird out of focus dwarf therapist in the background just doesn't look right. So, oh well, here we are. Here's my face. Here's my face. You were only meant to blow the bloody doors off, not like turn the entire city into a crater. Oh, the earring had Spider-Man on it. That makes sense. Is Spider-Man canonically a specific type of spider? I mean, in the film, in the Sam Raimi movies, it's like a blue and red spider, which I'm fairly certain isn't a real thing. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Any particular reason there's blood in your magma? It vaporized some poor sap who was digging the hole to let the magma in, and unfortunately, apparently, blood is magma proof. So next time we want to make something that won't burn up in the magma, well, we'll just make it out of old scabs. Or black pudding, of course, that is an option. He's specifically a man spider. Oh, I see. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Good old Marvel with their very non-convoluted canon. Unlike DC, straight as an arrow. Perfect sense. Wonderful through line. A joke, of course. Why are we paused? What happened? Did I miss some kind of notification? Or was that just... Are we still paused from the earring debacle? Oh no, we've got a baby. Lovely little baby. I can see babies. Sweet, sweet babies. So, what are we doing now? Do we concentrate on adamantine production, or do we think about something else? I think realistically we need to start training up our military, but unfortunately tin is not a military grade metal, so we're going to have to melt at least one of our anvils, which is annoying, but to be honest, excuse me, it's not the worst case scenario. I'm thinking melt the steel one, get some early days weapons made, and start duping. Right? What do we reckon? To dupe or not to dupe? That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to not cheat or to cheat. Cook black pudding in lava. I love a bit of black pudding. No, obsidian is not black pudding cooked in lava. I believe it's a volcanic glass. Very exciting. He doesn't shit silk, so I don't know how much of a spider Spider-Man is. That's true. That's true. He has to do science experiments to get his spinnerets working, doesn't he? Can we find more metal? Well, Dave, I think that's a noble sentiment. Let's get ourselves down and have a little look in the lower cavern layers to see if we can find some sweet, sweet non-adamantine before we start resorting to duping stuff, because that's a little bit cheaty, isn't it? It's just a shade on the cheaty side. Although, having said that, looking at the amount of stuff we're not finding down here is pretty problematic. Let's do a nice digging pattern. I'm going to dig all the way across 2 wide and see if we find anything here. So down to... Oh, screw you, game. Over here. Enter, up 1, and then all the way across. There we go. Let's see what gets dug out. We may find some interesting stuff. Then again, we may not. We could even find a second adamantine spire, which would be glorious. Absolutely bloody marvellous. Ravelin says, honestly, I'd be much more interested in Spider-Man if he swung around New York by his ass. That's actually a good point. I think that would be a good scene. I think someone should do that. The next person to make a Spider-Man movie should be like, no, we're going all in. We're going 100% in on the spider thing. We're just minimising the man, maximising the spider. Isn't that a thing, though? Isn't there already a comic called Man Spider? I could be wrong. There's a few types of spiders that don't do webs, I think. Yeah, but they get bullied by the other spiders, surely. Can't even spin a web. As they do, they're pointing with 8 fingers at once. Well, 8 legs. Spiders don't have fingers, do they? Maybe man spiders do. Conan Dude says, be noble and don't cheat. Heavens above. Noble? How long have you been watching? Clearly not that long. It can't have been that long. Dave has suggested a poll, so maybe we'll do that. While we wait for these lads to dig this little exploratory tunnel out, we'll go over to Dwarf Therapist. We'll do some naming, we'll do some namey stuff, and we'll also set some polls off. How about that? Phew, don't set my poll off, it'll make a mess. Disgusting. What are you up to, scoundrel? Trying to get yourself banned? Not really. So, North Westerhausen requires a dwarf. He said PogChamp, and I'm going to assume that's just like an addendum to the request, as opposed to the actual subject of the request. So, we're going to pick a dwarf. I've closed my eyes and rolled my mouse wheel to select at random. Any dwarf will do. How about this one? There we go. Inod. Set nickname. Paste. North Westerhausen. Bosh, thou art in, sir. Let us mark as complete. There we go. Ralph, I'm going to give you the name you asked for. Defecatius, I believe. Defecatius? Defecacious. Let's go and choose another dwarf. Close the eyes. Do a little bit of random scrolling. Bosh, this one. Set nickname. Paste. They're in. Let us mark as complete. Who next? Righteous Boner, looking for His Holiness. Let me just check. Righteous Boner, have you already got a dwarf? You already got one? Righteous? I could call him His Holiness, or I could call him Righteous Boner. I'll just call him His Holiness. Why not? It's not like we don't have a surplus of dwarves right now. bear in mind, life expectancy can be a little short in this fortress, so don't expect your dwarves to become long-standing citizens. Plutonium Jesus requested the first poll, saying what should be done with spammers? A. Flayed, B. Boiled in fuming nitric acid, or C. All of the above. Well, I mean, we'll do that poll first. Let's get it done, because it was requested. It only makes sense to actually do it. So I'm going to go over to the stream manager. I'm going to manage a poll. We're going to say new poll. I'm going to paste the question in there. We're going to say A, B, or C. There we go. It's going to be a 2-minute poll, and it should be appearing at the top of your chats right now. So exciting. So jolly exciting. Okay, we can now mark that as complete. Then we're going to do Dave's Cheaty Steel dupe yay or nay poll, which I'm suspecting will come out at nay. And Dave is also requesting a dwarf named after me. Right, let's mark that as complete and choose a dwarf. Close your eyes, scoundrel. Allow the RNGesus to guide you. Clicky. Here we go. I am now who was formerly Cole. There we go. Scoundrel's in. I have a dwarf named after me now. I exist in the fortress. I am extant. It's very exciting. Let's have a little look at... How do we know that he doesn't canonically shit silk? Is there a peep show spin-off for the scat enthusiasts? I'm not sure. I don't think silk is technically spider shit. I think they also poop. Although imagine thick ropes of human feces being used as tools to swing through the streets of New York. Now that would be both disgusting, but also impressive. Very impressive. I mean, I'm pretty sure a rope made of human tods is going to need to be pretty thick to support a human weight, right? I think at the point you've made it thick enough to actually support someone's weight, it's probably not going to be able to support its own weight, right? Maybe? Who knows? More likely he would have like a super powerful spidery jump and he would shit massive crash pads down for himself so he doesn't break his legs when he lands. But that is almost more disgusting. The scientifically accurate Spider-Man video on YouTube has him swinging around New York by his ass. I'm glad someone's done it. C, the option comes through that both should be done. 7, that is 70% of those who voted, which means 10 people voted. Oh wow, my maths skills are amazing. Which means that several other people thought only one of those things was suitable for spams. For spammers. Okay, fair enough. I mean, that's fine. The purity of your vision cannot be denied. So, let's quickly do the poll for the Cheaty Steel dupe. Does anybody want that? New poll. Paste. Cheaty Steel dupe. Yes or no? Poll begins now. There we go. Bright light. Okay, let's quickly scroll down a little bit. Shouldn't the scientifically accurate Spider-Man have him in a hospital getting antitoxins? Probably. More than likely. Especially if he accidentally bit himself. That would be bad. What if he got hit by the 24-hour bonus spider? So painful that you die after the 24 hours. Wait, whoa. I feel like you skipped over the boner part of that. Does it bite boners? Or does it give you a boner that's so painful you die? Intriguing. Isn't there a suicide plant in Australia that's so painful most people who get stung by it kill themselves and it like lasts for a year or something? Sounds horrible. There was a whole 5-minute section in the new film where he was in the disabled bogs straining and grunting while he refilled his web shooters from the source. Was there? What, in Spider-Man Homecoming was it called, wasn't it? I don't remember that. I don't remember that at all. I remember people glossing over the fact that Tony Stark has a worldwide kill network of drones and going, oh, he's still a good guy. Or had, he's dead now, obviously. Jesus, the image in my brain of fecal strings is horrifying. Just think of goldfish. Think of goldfish. Oh no, wait, they do it too. Trap spiders. No, that's the hunting one that doesn't do the webs. No, and I think trap spiders do webs because they make the little hatch that they cover themselves up with, and it has a spider silk hinge, as I recall. Whether through eroticism or venom, that I do not know. Who knows? I mean, I've personally never been sexually aroused by a spider. Although, I mean, maybe if a spider was truly dedicated to the task, it might figure out a way to do it. I feel like they don't have enough body weight for me to even like sense them skittering across my genitals. Seems unlikely. Seems unlikely. Anyway, let's have a look. The Cheaty Steel dupe had 8 people voting, and it's come out perfectly split at 50-50. Very nice, which means no action taken. Let's go back to the fortress. We've done all the namings now, and let's have a look at this. The Giantess. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. There we go. The Giantess Osmodzat Bostongbottom has come. A gigantic creature resembling a human, almost unparalleled in size. Right, well, let's see how this ends up panning out, because we have currently an undead incursion. I don't see the beast. Where are you, giantess? Show yourself. Let's see if we can zoom directly to her. There's one of our forgotten beasts. Oh, there it is. There's our giantess. Be my giantess. Sorry. I'm attempting to do a little typo negative meme there, and it just didn't work. Just didn't work. Man, there's a blast from the past. I haven't listened to any typo negative for ages. Isn't Pete Steele dead now? I remember seeing an article about his tour schedule on in a metal magazine and stuff, and seeing all the pills he was on. No wonder he popped his clogs. His liver must have been fucking ruined. Let's follow this giant and see what happens. There we go. It looks like our invaders are close by, ready to charge in. They're making their move. Oh my god, if we end up with an undead giant, this could be serious stuff. I dread to think how dangerous it would be. I'm not seeing any combat here, but they do seem to have swarmed it. Let's have a look at the combat logs. See if anything's going on here. The giantess is fighting. The elf crossbowman corpse bashes the giantess in the upper body with her copper crossbow, but the attack glances away. I'm seeing a lot of muscle bruising, skin bruising, a silver pike lodging firmly in a wound there, which tore some fat. I'm not seeing massive damage, but I am seeing the giantess retch, which is never a good sign. I'm seeing a lot of pikes lodging in wounds. Presumably polearms as opposed to predatory fish. Who knows though? Could be predatory fish. What's this little thingamajiggle? That's an opossum. Very exciting. There's a lot of chaos going here now. I can't even see the giant now at all. Let's check to see if it's still alive or not. Damn. Taken out. Taken out like it was nothing. I mean, we do have a shitload of undead roaming the surface. I doubt we're going to get a chance to trade with anybody in the near future. And again, once we've made all of our sweet adamantine weapons and armour, maybe we'll be able to clean up some of this mess. It's not impossible. Why have we got a ghostly woodcutter? Better get a slab going for that one, because I would imagine it's probably because we can't bury the body that we've got a ghost. So, up to the Craftsdorf workshops. Let's get a nice slab made up for old Erdim. Add Alt-S Erdim. There we go. Can we get that done now? Thank you. Thank you, dwarves. Thank you very much. Okie dokie. So where was I? Ah, yes, I was down in the mines looking for some more materials. So we keep going down here. There we go. Oh, that's a lot of gems. That is an unusually large vein for gems, am I right? A rough-hewn praise cluster. Oh. Praise RNGesus. Let's do a little clicky. Can I actually have that? Thank you. No, you're not going to work? Apparently, using the mouse to select stuff is no longer an option. Why you do this? Why you got to be like this, game? Oh, there we go. Just left click. Been programmed by Blender for too long. Even though I've now moved on to left click select, I'm still every now and again using a right click. Ah, sweet, sweet Blender. How I love thee. We're not seeing a lot of ores here though. I'm seeing a lot of gemstones, but ores definitely lacking. As a proud arachnophobe, says Ravelin, wolf spiders the actual worst. Even when they do their little dance, their little mating dance, where they do the hands thing, that's quite cute. When you see them magnified, they're fairly cute. Fairly cute. From Peratreat Pest Control of Virginia. I think I've missed something. I've missed something Sal has said. And every time I try and scroll up, it won't let me... 3 Virginia spiders do not weave webs, but instead use alternative methods for hunting. The goldenrod crab spider, the jumping spider, and the wolf spider. We get wolf spiders in the UK. They're the big... well, not necessarily big, but they're the ones that sort of... you find scurrying around in the bath with the little black pad things at the front. I actually have been aroused by the spider lady from the Saga comics, says Righteous Boner. Oh, heavens above. Not the spider lady from the film Spookies. Man, there's a... well, I'm not sure. It's either terrible or great, depending on what you're looking for in a movie. I mean, it's not what you would call the greatest movie ever made, for sure. Although I can't remember where I heard it the other day, but someone was saying that the film Madman was great, and to be honest, I cannot agree with that. It's fun, but it's not great. Madman's, unless it's a different Madman, and not the one that has the song going, Lord of the Campfires telling of his horror, because that's the one that I saw. Where are we going down here? That's right, Sal does the research. That's why her tutorials are actually good, as opposed to this mindless ranting. Huntsmen are even worse for me. Apparently you have to use a cake tin lid to capture them in the old Glass and Paper Act. Are they that big? Holy shit. Holy bloody shit. I'm not sure it's related to typo-negative blood. I think it's probably more related to the enormous number of supplements the man was taking in order to sustain his bodybuilding lifestyle. He had, like, you know those toolboxes, you flip them up and there's like the trays for putting all the screws and nails and stuff in? I saw a picture of him with one of those and it was just absolutely rammed full of pills. And I mean, even if the active ingredients in them wasn't bad for him, just the sort of substrate they're made out of would be fucking knackering to his liver. Excuse me, having a bit of a glug there. Have you found a tunnel where the rock type changes? That might indicate a biome change and higher chances of a new ore. I have not, Sal. I'll have to look for that. I think I just saw a wolf spider in the bath earlier today. If they have little things at the front that move, they do. They have these little black pad things. I think it's the male that has them. And in order to do to attract a mate, they do like a little judder dance. Looks like they've got a weird low frame rate, and they do this sort of thing. You'll be able to find a video of it on YouTube. They're very, when you just look at them close up, they're quite cute, but I understand people being scared of them. I'm the only person in my house not scared of spiders, so I am constantly being summoned to deal with them. Excuse me. I watched a great Russian movie today that had aliens, zombies with guns, and the apocalypse. It's called The Blackout. Interesting. I haven't seen that many Russian movies, to be fair. I've got Stalker sitting in my queue to one day actually watch and get round to. I think the only ones I can think of that I've watched are that Night Watch and Day Watch about the zombies, about the vampires and the werewolves, if I remember correctly. Do we have several biomes? We should do. This is a mountain biome we're under directly at the moment, and I think just at the top we have something slightly smaller. So maybe I should divert. Why have we paused? Question mark. Digging designation cancelled. Warm stone located. If I diggy, am I gonna... I think the warm stone's got to be below, right? Or am I being a cray-cray? Yeah, more warm stone. Shit. Well, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to say... Where's the D key? There's the D. I'm going to say go north and see if we can crack another biome. Oh, actually, we haven't got that far to go, really. Let's see what happens. Let's see how it pans out. What's paused now? They've already cancelled the dig. No, it's fine. It's just something else. Don't panic, everybody. Don't panic. Calm down. Remain calm. Does that mean wolf spiders are the jazz spiders and therefore the best spiders? Maybe they are, because they do jazz hands, jazz legs. Like that. Very exciting spiders. I don't know if our wolf spiders are the same as your wolf spiders, but I'm so terrified of spiders that I don't know if I've ever looked at a spider longer than a second. I can understand that. I have creatures that I am not fond of seeing. Mainly boneless creatures. I'm not a big fan of things that don't have bones. I find them very disconcerting. Slugs, snails, that kind of thing. Yuck. Disgusting. Absolutely bloody disgusting. Conan Dude says you should play Stalker. I have played Stalker. I believe there's an entire playthrough of Stalker on my YouTube channel. If you're interested, if you fancy it, have a little look. It's there. I mean, sure, it's not the most professional playthrough of Stalker. In fact, I think a lot of people would describe it as an absolute shambles. But I did my best. I tried. I gave it a go. Hello, Clinidev. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. Surprise magma indeed. I'm too chicken to try digging through. For a moment there, I thought, I'll just power through, and hopefully it won't actually be magma. But nah, not in the end. Couldn't quite bring myself to do it. Why have we paused? What's going on here? More warmstone. All right, lads, calm down. I know this warmstone. You don't have to tell me twice. Actually, you probably do have to tell me twice. Probably going to help if you tell me several times, otherwise I'm just going to forget. Oh, Conan Dude wants a dwarf named Conan the Barbarian. Well, why not? Why not? Well, I can tell you why not. It's probably over 16 characters long, which makes it a bit difficult, but we can definitely fit some variation on that theme in. It'll be good. Except snakes. Snakes and spiders can fuck off. I don't mind snakes or spiders. I'm quite alright with them. I mean, obviously, I have a healthy respect and borderline fear for venomous snakes. The poisonous snakes, don't have to worry about. Just don't eat them. That's the main thing. But venomous snakes, obviously, I have a certain level of fear and respect for those. But in general, I don't mind snakes. No, I don't mind snakes. Then again, there's a size thing there. If it's one of those huge sort of reticulated pythons that could physically swallow me, I might be slightly less keen on, touching it. But I'm not particularly scared of them. Ralph says, I weirdly hate butterflies, like almost an avoidance close to people's fear of spiders. Really? I've never seen that before. I don't have a problem with moths and butterflies. Excuse my hiccups. I quite like them. Sal has an absolutely terrifying phobia of butterflies. Hate them. What, even the beautifully coloured ones? Even like the iridescent blue ones and stuff. My goodness, that's a surprise. You know what? It's a little lame, but I love a trip to a butterfly house. I don't know why. Every time we go to London Zoo, I'm always like, oh, let's go to the butterfly house. Oh! And those big Goliath moths, you can buy the chrysalises of them, and when they hatch, the moths don't actually have any mouth parts. You can't feed them. They just hatch to breed. So you can get like these great big things that are about that big, about 6-7 inches across. I never actually went and got them. Build 2 doors quickly and risk it, says Clinidev. Oh, I say. That's a bit spicy, isn't it? Saucy talk. Heavens above. Maybe I'll give it a go. It's probably because it's flying, but isn't small enough to be a nuisance like flies, but not big enough to seem nice like birds. It could be like a hummingbird. They're the size of bees. That's it. Sal and Rolf have found a lovely kinship in chat. That's beautiful. Wonderful bonding in terror. Bonded by fear. Come on. I wonder how good an adhesive fear really is. It could certainly make me stick to a chair, make me sweat. But then again, so could any high temperature scenario. Right, let's dig out some of these praises. And then we'll go up another floor, shall we? Oh, that's disappointing. Let's go up a few more floors then. Seems like we've actually managed to somehow get quite substantially through the magma sea. No wonder we bumped into the adamantine so easily. I'm worried now that if we dig up, it's going to pierce into a fucking magma well. That'll be a problem.
That would be a serious issue.
It's my very best Baron Greenback impersonation, just in case anyone was wondering what that was. don't like the butterfly house. Well, I can understand it. If you don't like butterflies, that's probably a bit of a problem. London Zoo's got these interesting setups with, they've got multiple animals, so lots of birds, insects, and small monkeys and stuff in like shared rooms that you walk through, and it's all open. They've got a sloth in there as well, which is quite nice. Although you wouldn't want to touch one of them. They are parasite and disease-riddled little beasties. One of the best things about having 3 cats is they kill all the spiders for me so I can be a functional human and not have half the house shut off because I saw a spider. Spiders? I have literally never seen any of my mum's cats throughout my entire adolescence and childhood kill a spider. I've seen dismembered mice, rats, even a rabbit once, lots of frogs. Never seen them eat a spider. Mind you, I suppose once they've eaten the spider, it's all gone, isn't it? It's not like they're going to bring half of it back and go, would you like me to put this in your shoes? Would you like to put your shoes on and find yourself with mouse guts between your toes? Because that's what I think you'd like. Here you go. Actually, I don't believe that for a second. I don't think cats think you like that. I think the cats are like, now you know who's in charge, bitch. Don't you fuck with me. Bring me my cat food now, or there'll be more guts in your boots than you can shake a stick at. That's what cats are like. Cats are evil. When I was 12, I had a snail. After 30 minutes, he ran away. Man. That's how did he get away? How did he get away that fast? Mind you, I think snails move horribly fast because they're not my favourites. Don't like them. Oh, don't have to tell me about kids overreacting, Ocelot. The young lady who came down earlier does not like anything that flies either, and she'll be down here like a fucking lightning bolt if anything buzzes around in her room. Sal says, I had a cat who likes to catch spiders and run around with them in her mouth, with the legs hanging out looking like a moustache. Oh, that's a lovely little comic image, isn't it? Little wiggly moustache coming out of a cat's mouth. Although cats do already have whiskers, so that's like a double moustache in a way, isn't it? Oh, we struck praise. Has that resulted in a pause? Nope. For some reason the dwarves are mining very slowly though. Why so slow? Come on, dwarf, dig faster. Dig faster. Plutonium Jesus says, butterflies are a scam. They don't taste like butter at all. Heavens above. It needs to be pretty big to have even any flavour. I imagine butterfly wings are pretty dry and dusty. I don't know why, but I imagine the dust that comes off of butterfly wings to have a sort of waxy, earwaxy flavour. I don't know why. Although, if you cook the hemocell, it might be quite like a prawn. Locusts and stuff are quite tasty. They're basically land prawns. Northwesterhausen says, oh, hang on, chat move. My daughter was like that when she was a little younger, finally getting better now she's 7. Yeah, hopefully mine will grow out of that as well. But we'll see, Her mum is pretty upset by spiders, but flying insects, not so much an issue. I'd have to say, she's actually getting into bees for some reason. I think it might be the new Minecraft update, but she seems to be liking bees, so hopefully that'll be a route out of the flying insect horror. That'd be nice. Khajiit is here to trade mouse guts for human food. That's right. They're sitting there going, could you give me some skooma? Give me the skooma. Has anyone seen those videos of like big cats reacting to catnip? They're quite funny. There's like cats, like tigers and stuff rolling around on the floor with like bags of catnip. Man, I wouldn't want to do that. If I was one of those people like keeping tigers in cages so tourists could take photos, I wouldn't put catnip on them. You don't want a fucking catnipped up big cat. It's going to be unpredictable, right? It's like taking a stranger into your house and giving them crack. Sure, some people will take it okay, some people will be used to the crazy buzz, but certain people are going to flip out and attack you, and you're not going to know who those people are until the crack's in them. It's just how it works. Not that I have vast experience of dosing people with crack cocaine. No experience, in fact. I've never done it before. Chromecast doesn't like me specifically. Oh, Sergeant Indy. What a horrible situation. Bastard Chromecast. It's probably because I'm like an idiot. I think I'm still streaming in 1080, aren't I? Or am I in 720? I think I made the change. It's hard to tell when you're playing Dwarf Fortress because it doesn't matter how high the resolution goes. It just looks the same. Blacklisted by Google. Clinadev says, I lived in a cottage in Guatemala for a few years and we had these cool flat spiders on the walls. They're ambush hunters who just sit in place for days until a fly or something lands nearby, and then are lightning fast, running a foot or more in a flash to catch the bug. My cat always wanted to eat them, but they were wise to his tricks. Man, that's when spiders start to worry me, when they're savvy enough to evade cats. I have seen this before. I will wait for you to look away, feline bastard. Is that what Joe Exotic was doing on Tiger King? I haven't seen Tiger King. It's just not. I've not got round to it yet. It's every time I go into Netflix, it's right there. His bemulleted mugshot staring out at me. But I don't know. It just doesn't. I feel like I've heard so much about it. There's kind of no point watching it now. All the memes have kind of destroyed the surprises for me. Warm stone still. Okay. Fair enough. If that's how high the warm stone gets, you know what? I'm going to cancel these designations on this floor and the floor below. No point having these still here. They're just going to confuse matters. And then I suppose we'll go up another floor, shall we? Yeah, let's see what happens here. Another 3-wide tunnel, please, my delightful dwarven friends. My fine dwarven friends. Catnip is more like cannabis for the cats. They get mellow and horny. Interesting. But I tell you what, I don't care how fucking mellow it is. If a tiger tries to stick its dick in me, I'm going to get out of there. I'm not interested. Thank you very much. They're barbed, you know. Imagine the size of a barb on a tiger's penis. It'd rip your fucking guts out. Awful times. Awful times. Mind you, at the point you're in the cage with the cat and it starts making its advantages, how do you say no? I don't think even the strongest body language is going to make the tiger give a fuck, is it? It's going to be like, oh, you think you can say no, do you? Well, I'll have you know I'm an apex predator. And what I want right now is your ass. Oh my god, that went dark, didn't it? Oh no! What have I done? Oh dear. One of my cats is completely unaffected by catnip. The other two are addicts. The unaffected one thinks they're psychos. Oh, that feels like, that's like sad though. That's like finding the friend who's allergic to the drug du jour, isn't it? Like, so, I can't drink, I'm allergic to alcohol. Bollocks, have a drink. Oh, you are allergic to alcohol. That's a shame. I think the nepetalone mimics some cat pheromone. Maybe they've got an olfactory failure. Maybe they just can't smell it. Sal says, I'm not fearful of spiders, but I don't like the idea of big flat spiders that move like lightning in my house. I had like a fish tank that I kept spiders in. I used to catch crane flies and daddy longlegs and stuff and feed them to them. And I got some pretty... I got like a garden spider almost up to the size of a golf ball. It was huge. Although, you know, they... You know, once they get that big, you've got to let them go because you can't really just keep feeding them 24/7. If I were to get a pet, it would probably be a turtle. I always liked the idea of them. I had terrapins as a kid, but they got massive, and we kept them in the garden. And unfortunately, some foxes dug a tunnel under the fence, and they escaped through it. It was like a massive fucking hole, and I don't know where they ended up going. They're probably in the Thames by now or something, because I imagine it's going to be. They're not really easily predated animals, are they? They get in that shell and not many things are going to be able to eat them, especially in the UK. Dave's giving his cat catnip right now. Heavens above. You enabler. I don't think they have the right mouth parts to bite people. Yeah, most spiders in the UK, in fact no spider in the UK can actually kill a human. Oh, that's not true. They could, technically I suppose they could unleash some sort of Rube Goldberg device that starts with a very small push, making larger and larger dominoes fall over that eventually trigger some kind of kill switch. But, you know, directly, I don't think so. Certainly in combat, they're going to fail. Saying you have a boyfriend to a tiger won't really work, I reckon. No, I don't think so. I feel like the tiger doesn't give a shit. Let's keep looking down the chat. I'd love a massive one, like Galapagos size, if they weren't extinct. Extent? No, I think they didn't. Haven't they managed to repopulate at least one of the types of Galapagos tortoise? Because they're tortoises, not turtles, aren't they? I believe the distinction is a tortoise has like flat feet and walks, whereas a turtle has kind of flippery feet and pulls itself along rather than standing off the floor. Or at least that's the distinction I know. Because I had the terrapins, the red-eared turtles, the little ones with the little red marks on the side. They start off like the size of a 50p, about that big, and then they end up the ones that we had were the size of dinner plates. They were enormous. Used to smell bad. They lived in the. Eventually, we put them in the pond outside, and they lived fine. They hibernate during the winter. They don't give a shit about the cold. I always thought the turtles required heat, but no. Apparently, there's several types you can just freeze solid. I mean, don't put them in the freezer, but they stay outside. They bury themselves. They freeze solid, and then they come back next year. Exciting. It was the scorpions I was worried about, and my cat wanted nothing to do with those. Hopefully you mean the poisonous stinging arachnids rather than the band. I mean, if you were being harassed by the band scorpions, that would be a problem. I don't know how. I don't know what you would do to deal with that. I think they're German, aren't they? You'd have to check the German law. Oh, that's a terrible joke. If the spider is in the UK but not from the UK, it can kill a human. Oh, don't let the Daily Mail find out. Fucking hell. Exactly, Ralph. Mine is 20 centimetres long, 8 inches or something like that. What a boast. I'm presuming you're talking about some kind of animal. Oh, you mean a turtle. That's what you mean. Okay. For 1 second there I was like, heavens above, what prompted penis comparisons? And then I realised no. Madness. What we got here? The stringy type. Indeed, weirdly as far as spiders go, the only 2 dangerous ones in Guatemala were subspecies of the same 2 dangerous ones from where I grew up in northern-ish US. Oh, interesting. British webs for British arachnids. Quite right. Well, that's not my opinion, but hey. Got a shell on. Jesus, they're taking a long time to dig this mining tunnel. I feel like maybe I've dug it a little bit too far away from... They've got to come a long way down and then come back up to actually get to it, haven't they? Maybe we should dance a bit more with this adamantine. Trouble is, that's a lot of warm stone. And I feel like where we're getting warm stone, more Z levels up, that we're probably actually, inside pockets of magma here. And again, up here, maybe if I channel down, this feels like it could all be dug out, right? This set of adamantine, there's no 2x2 elevator to dig out. Oh shit, this is just a regular stone block, isn't it? Let's dig that out. Boom. Okay. That can come out. Bring back flies for the impoverished towns in the north. Do they want flies? I'm not sure. I think they'd probably prefer like jobs or some kind of active economy. That would be nice. Are you trying to find the top of the magma tube? That would reveal a lot of the tube. I'm more trying... Oh, that would be a good idea, yes. I don't mind tunneling down into the magma and see what's going on. But if I find the adamantine tube, I'm trying to find the 2x2 bit so I can do a fortification on it to reveal the entire thing. Because I'm not sure if we're going to get another one. Because if we look at the positioning of this one, it's fairly central, which to me suggests we're unlikely to get another one, because normally you don't get more than one unless they're right in the extreme corners due to the spacing. That's just an assumption, to be honest. I don't know that for sure. But I would like to find the top of either the magma or this so I can reveal it a bit better. That would be very nice. Very nice indeed. I suppose I could do a channel down in one of these tunnels up here. That gives us a chance. Down with Maggie Weaver. I don't even know who that is. Is that a spider? Is that like Charlotte's of the Web fame? I don't know. It's probably some politician that I've yet to hear of, and I'm going to throw up a little bit in my mouth when I find out about them. As I do with most politicians, to be honest. Not always. Sometimes they seem like people, but, often not so much. I'm running low on beer here. I may have to go and grab another one in a minute. What time is it? Nearly 1 AM. A failed Thatcher spider pun. Ah, I get what you're going here. I get where you're going with that. Once it's explained, although the humour's somewhat defused, it does make sense. I see where you were going with that. Can you make obsidian into a fortress? I think you can. I think you can put water... In fact, no, I know for sure you can. If you drop water onto magma into a fortress, we did it in the previous fort, it will make obsidian. Yes, you definitely can. I did. I played Arma 3 earlier today. It's not the first time I've streamed it, but certainly the first time I've streamed it in a long time. If anyone's interested in getting together for some games of Arma 3, I am all ears. Pop in the Discord and mention it, because people were looking at me playing it earlier and saying, "Oh, I might pick this game up. It's a bit expensive. Before it was on sale, it was like 90 quid, but they've just slashed it down with 70% cut, so it's pretty good. It's good fun." But then again, I think that game really, much like LARP or paintball and stuff like that, it's you kind of get out of it what you put in. So if you bring like a load of people to the party, then it's good fun. But if you're just sort of soloing in it, it's, I don't know. Maybe it is good fun. I don't know, but it just feels like a game that's not going to be super good fun in that regard. Oh heavens! Hang on a minute. Look, if we go. Oh, hang on. They all stop at the same place, don't they? Ah, this one. Okay, so if we do a little channel in here, let's see what that reveals.
Let us see what kind of stuff we find underneath this floor.
Do you play modern or any older style mods? No mods at all yet. I'm still not even... basically, I've had it for ages. And I saw my mate Sinister Elements, who does the music for this stream, just did a stream of it. He picked it up and played it and did a stream playing some Invade and Annex. And I thought it looked like a good fun, so I reinstalled it and gave him a shout. And him and Chunky Nut have both been doing quite a bit of it at the moment, so with me. And so I thought, fuck it, today I'll stream it. Why not? Seeing as we're playing a game during the day, and I don't often stream during the day at the moment, let's give it a crack. Ah, congratulations, Bauxite Beard. You have been re-elected as the mayor. Kogan. I love this track. I know I say it very often, but Koganu-san is one of my favourite Dwarf Fortress songs. A lovely bit of swear where, "Oh, Simon, you and your lovely music." It's weird that I know I've had people in chat say before, "My accent is not a source of comedy," and I'm like, well, I grew up watching Vic and Bob, and as such, to me, it's like the pinnacle of comedy. I can't help myself using a northern accent because I've been, well, not that they've got like Midlands accent, I think. Bob Mortimer, but whatever. You know what I mean? It's like the voice of comedy in my head has that accent. Ugh. Excuse me, stretchy. Stretchy. I might need to take a break in a minute. My bladder is not yet at full distension, but it is getting a little bit full. It's true, but I have to say, Dave, when I hear American people attempt English accents, I have pinched the bridge of my nose before. I have been like, oh, God, that's terrible. Which is obviously what they're going to do when I try an American accent. Although, maybe not. I feel like sometimes... I feel the reason a lot of English actors have good luck in America, like taking on putatively American roles, is because we're kind of steeped in American culture. Basically, just we're constantly exposed to American media and stuff like that, and as such, it's kind of relatively straightforward for us to try and conjure an audio thing in our mind of an American accent, whereas I don't think Americans hear English accents that often. And if they do, it's "Oh, God blimey, Mary Poppins!" It's old Dick Van Dyke, which is, like, I mean, one of the worst Cockney accents that's ever been done. But I suppose it's also Dick Van Dyke doing the sweeping Mary Poppins, so you can't really complain too much. Right, let's try channeling out this one as well, see how this hot stone looks. Looking good? Looking groovy? Looking sweet as? Let's watch it from the floor below, maybe. Okay, so the stone is warm from below, or how far does heat penetrate through stone in this? I'm confused. Bloody hell. Bloody hell. I mean, I find it hard to say. I feel like bloody hell is a phrase that rarely you'd hear outside of a UK accent. Oh, I suppose Australian accents. I suppose there's a lot of slang crossover between Australia and the UK. It's not total synergy, but there's a lot of crossover. Yeehaw! Oh my goodness. Just that I'm quite into realistic shooters. Would play things like World War II games like Hell Let Loose if I had a PC that wasn't from the mid-2000s. Oh man, I'm very lucky to be in a situation where I managed to get enough money streaming to buy myself a decent PC. So, you know, I can relate to being in the not great PC trap. But then again, turn your graphics setting down low enough, maybe it'll work. I don't know. Arma 3 is a bit of an oldie now as well. I'm not sure how old exactly it is, but I feel like it runs... If my PC can run it at 4K, 60 frames a second, I'm fairly sure an older PC could manage 60 frames a second in 1080 with lower settings. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I can't stream it at 4K, but I can play it. Okay, I'm still not seeing any... I'm still not seeing anything super hot here. Why are we getting hot stone? Those warnings are one tile in the X, Y or Z. I don't know how they can't do it. Look at House MD, he did it for 7 years. That's true. Did you see, what was that Armando Iannucci spaceship thing called? It was on HBO. Avenue 5. I like that. It started off a little bit slow, but once I got into the rhythm of it, I really enjoyed it. It was very good. Very, very good. But then England has regional accents every 100 yards compared to America's 4, West, South, New York and Boston. I think that might be an artefact of us in the UK not really knowing the accents. I mean, because I think a lot of people would confuse a New York and a New Jersey accent if you're from the UK. Because they have aspects that are shared and they're very close geographically. So I feel like maybe we're just unaware of the different things. Dave says people from India use bloody as if it's a powerful swear word. I've definitely felt the power of an Indian person saying bloody. It's strange because India is one of those countries where it's not just multiple accents, it's multiple fucking languages. So you've got like the what's it called? I worked for a company where we were doing sales for Rosetta Stone, and they were just launching like Hindi, which is more southern India, and then as you go north towards Pakistan into the sort of is it the Kush? I can't remember the name of the area where they got the war on. Anyway, they got entirely different language. Peshawar region or something? No, that's not the whole region. They've got an entire language. It sounds, when you hear them separately, like the Hindi one, you would say, Kashmir, that's it. You would see that as a sort of classical Indian-sounding language, whereas you go further north, it sounds more akin to Chinese or one of the Chinese languages. Again, China, a country with many languages. I think that would be a strange feeling to be in a country where there's like so many different languages. Mind you, there's also, like, Belgium's got 3 national languages, hasn't it? And they're like a teeny weeny little place. They've got, Flemish, German and French, I think, if I remember rightly. I could be wrong. I've only been to Belgium 3 or 4 times. That's weird, isn't it? Is that weird? Is it weird to have been to Belgium that many times? Where are we going? New York and New Jersey sound completely different to Americans. Yeah, I guess. I would imagine that does. Fun fact, standard American is actually Chicago, because that's what they used to train American broadcasters to be. Chicago. Chicago. That's my best attempt at a Chicago accent. Couldn't really do it justice. That's true. I mean, we have a broader range of accents over a much smaller area. But then again, I suppose we do have technically 3 countries in the UK. So, I mean, you'd expect Scotland and Wales to have their own accents. And then, of course, Northern Ireland, let's not forget Northern Ireland, they have their own accent thing going on specifically. But even within Scotland, they've got 2 broad accent camps. And then there's, you know, because you've got the Glasgow, the Edinburgh sort of sound. And then, like, you've got the Highland islands, which have got even different... I think they've even got different dialects, haven't they? I'm not sure. I'm no linguist. I am no Noam Chomsky. English is a lingua franca in India, which is ironically means French language. Amazing. From what I've seen in the Deep South, there's as many accents as in the UK, but they're spread apart a bit more. And I know that in the south of India, they use head movements quite commonly in a similar way that Italians use hands. Yeah, that's the classic, like the wobbling the head side to side for yes. Is it for agreement or is it for disagreement? I think it's agreement, isn't it? There's like a side to side thing like that. Oh god, then there's Japan, where on top of different dialects, they have formal, informal, and normal language variations which need to specifically be used in different situations, but they're so different, they're near different languages. Oh my goodness, that sounds too much for me. That sounds too much for me. I'll stick with my basic anime Japanese, thank you very much. That kind of gubbins. Works for me. Works for me. Shindes? Nani? Etc, etc. Yeah, I like anime, so what? Don't fucking weeb shame me. Where are we going? Where are we going here? We're not finding much in the way of different ores, are we? Let's come up significantly higher and we'll dig a tunnel potentially above the magma. Let's see what happens here. Let's see how this pans out.
Is this going to work? Is it going to be good?
Excuse me. Shame for display. Quite right. Human sufferingu. I understand you can speak Japanese by randomly repeating Japanese phrases you have heard, but blurt them out angrily. That is a meme. That is definitely a meme. Oh man, this is a shame-free chat. That is true. Although I feel people probably aren't aware of the fact of just quite how shame-free I have been for most of my life. Like, for a good portion of my teenage years, I didn't have any concept of shame. Some of the stuff I've done in my life would make people's legs turn to jelly and go, oh, cringe. But it didn't bother me. Didn't bother me. What do I think about Filthy Frank? I am only tangentially aware of Filthy Frank through other people. I must admit, from what I've seen of the whole pink jumpsuit thing, I'm like, this feels weird, man. Not sure I like this, but I don't want to judge because, you know, I mean, it's the internet. What do I know? I don't think I properly developed empathy until my mid-30s, and I'm not alone. No, it's certainly, definitely amongst the males I know, the men I know, it developed a lot later. And I say that because most of the people I know are male. That's probably a side effect of a single-sex education. I went to an all-boys secondary school, and we only ended up meeting, having any sort of co-education with girls in the sixth form, and that was very minimal. So, like, the vast majority of my friends are male. In fact, I almost all of them. I'm not going to start reading the names of my friends off. That would be doxing, wouldn't it? How rude. Are you going to take a break soon? I'd like to get a drink and change room/device. I really should, shouldn't I? What time is it? It's 1:10 in the morning. You know what? It's probably a good time for a break. Good call, Dave. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to go for a little wee-wee. It's going to be very important, very powerful move on my part. So what we're going to do is we're going to pause the game while these miners are doing this. And we're going to also pause the Simon Swirler and take a little trip Over to the home screen. Ah, yes, very nice. Ralph says, Filthy Frank was great when he used to play that character, but when moving to his music career seemed to turn into the very thing he mocked during his comedy days. But it seemed to work well for him, and it freed him from his constant throat damage from doing the silly voice. I can imagine doing silly voices does screw your voice up pretty badly. Gives the old throat box quite the sores. Quite the sores. I know, it's quite the striking screen. I went for bold colour choices and unusual imagery, it has to be said, but I'm quite pleased with it. One day it'll get replaced with something new, but for now it'll do. Nice little smoke sim from Blender, looping no less. Don't let me start going on about how awkward it was to get a looping smoke simulation. That was a pain in the ass. Also, the looping animation on the text is very nice, I think. I'm pleased with this. I'm very proud. It's better in my mind than the double double Hardoken fireball thing I was doing before, although that's a deep cut. A lot of you probably won't remember that from a while ago. Oh, actually, no, it popped up when someone did the Patreon thing, doesn't it? It's a notification sometimes. Anyway, enough of this jibber-jabber, enough of this chit-chat. I'm going to set some music going. This, of course, is music from my good friend, Sinister Elements. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. He's made it all for the channel. Well, I say that. He made it and then went, oh yeah, you can use my music, no problem. So, you know, it wasn't specifically custom-made for this channel. I mean, some of it was, but not all of it. Anyway, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to be 5, maybe 10 minutes if I decide to eat something. So we'll see how it pans out. I'm going to be in chat on my phone, assuming I have some battery. Ooh, 32%. Wow, amazing. So yeah, I'll be in chat if anyone wants to ask me any questions or anything. But other than that, thanks for watching up until now. Hopefully some of you will still be here when I get back. And I will see you on the other side of the break. For now, I will dismiss my face, well, my video face, put up this craven, brazen capitalist nonsense on the side there, should anyone be foolhardy enough to be suckered in. And I will also mute my microphone. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the other side. I'm going to sneeze. Pardon me, should have muted the microphone first, shouldn't I? See you guys on the other side. Bye-bye.
test of strength.
Physical strength is no substitute for perception. For perception is the key which unlocks the intangible power of the spirit. You perceive nothing. You perceive nothing. You perceive nothing.
Hello. Hey, it's me. Bear with me one moment. Just got to pop in the old headphones. Wait, has the desktop audio been paused, muted for the entire stream? Fuck me, have you not been hearing any music for the entire stream? Oh my god. No, it's been... Oh, thank God for that. Okay, so it's just me being paranoid. That's all good. That's all good. Oh, I didn't stop recording for the YouTubers. So they've got the entire freaking break there. Oh, poor YouTube. How long is the recording now? Hour and 50 minutes. Should I bother breaking it into two? Oh, I don't know. May as well. Sorry about that ending there. The camera's not over there anymore, is it? Sorry about the ending there. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, YouTube. Bye.